Hi everyone, welcome back to another Farm Bureau Minute. It is the first week of February here in Helena, and I'm bringing 4 bills to update you on this week. The first of those is Senate Bill 247, which is by Senator John Brendan of Scobey. This bill proposes to prohibit a hunting season on sage grouse. Currently, the federal government is trying to decide whether or not to give a listing on the endangered species list for sage grouse, and this is a step by Senator Brendan to sort of mitigate some of the population damage that is done via a hunting season. We do have policy to support this, and the bill was heard yesterday in the Senate Fish and Game Committee. A second bill that was also heard in the Senate Fish and Game Committee yesterday was Senate Bill 230 by Senator Chaz Vincent of the Libby area. And Senator Vincent is bringing more measures to guide departments when they are acquiring land. He is bringing some more stipulations that would require departments to go through a public scoping process if they are to have a land acquisition larger than 640 acres or one section. And so what Senator Vincent is doing here is trying to require more accountability by the departments for the amount of land that they acquire and to provide more public input on the pieces of land that departments are trying to acquire. So if this bill passes, it would require that departments go through a public scoping process prior to making any land purchases or acquisitions of any kind, which would require public meetings as well as an opportunity for public comment. So it provides a lot more transparency into the process and gives the public more input into tracts of land departments are trying to acquire. 2 other bills that I will briefly update you on this week involve agricultural education funding in the state of Montana. There are 2 bills. One was heard yesterday in House Appropriations, and the second will be heard this afternoon. The bill that was heard yesterday was House Bill 356 by Representative Jones of Billings, and this bill addressed agricultural education as well as other VOTEC and career education funding. And essentially what this bill did was a simple change in statute requiring that any state funds that are allotted to school districts currently offering vocational or career education have to go specifically to expanding the program. They cannot be used to offset district spending that was already being put towards those programs. So essentially he's just saying that if the state is to fund these programs, the district should be required to fund them at the same levels and that the state dollars are used just to grow the programs and to make them better. The second education bill that will be heard today is Senate Bill 255 by Senator Taylor Brown. This bill specifically addresses agricultural education programs. Under current statute, schools that offer an agricultural education program receive $500 for every accredited ag teacher that they have in the program. This bill would increase that appropriation to $1,000 for every accredited ag teacher, and it would also offer an additional incentive for ag programs that are able to grow their program and add another teacher by providing an additional $7,500 to programs who are able to add another teacher. So these 2 bills are very complementary to one another, and essentially they're saying that we need to provide more funding to agricultural education as well as additional VOTEC programs and continue to grow these in our communities and in our schools because they're ever popular programs. So those are 4 bills that we have updated you on this week. We're hearing more as well, and there will be more listed in the highlights. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.